Hello, my dear Aquarius, and welcome for your reading for the month of April. We have 7 cards that came up for you, and I decided to arrange them in the order that they came. As above, you have the reasons for why the middle row is going on, and you have the last card down here as the result. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, 10, the Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Swords, Knight of Swords, 4, the Emperor, 8 of Swords, and 5 of Cups down here. Now, I'll talk how this can be interpreted from a personal point of view if you're not dealing with anyone else, and then I will talk about the love sector, how this relates to you if you're in a committed love relationship or you have a love interest. So, starting off with here, the six of Pentacles. This usually talks about being a caretaker for others, over functioning. You're an air sign, so the most important trait about you is your logic, your mind, how you think. So with the Pentacles here, I'm getting the idea that you have a wealth of knowledge and you're taking care of others. It's either you being a teacher and willfully handing out bits and pieces of knowledge as to help others, grow in the domain that you base your activity in, or it's maybe being an over-functioning person in regards to your close ones, friends or family. Okay, so the reading starts out very well with this card. If you like being this embodying this energy, it's a stable energy, but it is not ideal in a way. So you start the month of April with this. Then comes the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so the state that you have been acting from, it's no longer available. Somehow you're thrown into chaos. This is the card of chaos. This is hazardous. Like something comes along, I don't know, the butterfly effect comes into mind. Like it's a small thing that comes into your world that throws the old way of being into chaos, and we must change certain things. So we will see here into what you're being thrown. Okay. After the Wheel of Fortune, you have 3 of Swords popping up. So I'm thinking in the past, maybe you were just minding your own business, doing the usual things that you do, running errands for people, taking care of people. Okay, and by synchronicity, this card here, there's some sort of synchronicity here that throws you off of this 6 of Pentacles energy, and there's a wound reopen in you. You may see something online, or someone may come to give you some news. If you're the type of person that's looking out for signs, it's like you're gonna get some signs, from some messages from the divine in your everyday life that is gonna reopen this wound. It's gonna make you very aware of the fact that you still haven't healed this. Okay, somehow I'm getting the impression that it's something from the past. Like, I don't see the actual person that you were involved with when this happened. So they're kind of absent in your reading. If this relates to a situation that maybe had gone on years before, it's normal that you don't see the other person, because this is what remains of their memory, the heartbreak, okay, the amount of pain that this person brought to you. And I'm getting the impression that somehow, although you feel hurt, it's the type of situation where you say to yourself in your head, feeling this, you say to yourself like, thank the gods I've dodged that bullet, okay? Because this is still real. After so many years, I can still feel the pain of it all, okay? Only the universe knows what you would have gotten, what you could have been going through all these years if you had remained in this, had stayed in this situation. So there's a wound open inside of you. And next up, I see this Knight of Swords on a ball, being shielded with his sword raised up. So this is the card for Aquarius or Gemini, but I feel this is your energy. It's like you relive this inside of you, and somehow you're prepared to put the armor on and move forward, okay? This is a very fast moving card. This is like charging forward, okay? And with the Wheel of Fortune here, it somehow ties into patterns, this one, because it's round. So you maybe it's almost like you have this deja vu moment, okay? In your day-to-day life, it's something happens, or you get this deja vu feeling inside of you and you're reminded about this, or you repeat a pattern that you have. Let's say every year for the month of April, you are used to doing this one thing, and this one thing somehow reminds you of this. Maybe you were used to doing something in the month of April with someone, okay? Or on yourself, and you see that you are wounded, that you repeat this pattern just so you can end up every time here in this space of getting wounded. And after this deja vu moment that's a bit painful, it's like I see you charging forward. It's like, enough with the repetition, enough with the patterns. This is not healthy. What was in the past was not really healthy. So I see you charging forward like this would be death coming after you. It's like, I don't need this. I need to charge forward now because we're moving into new things. Okay. Another thing here with this white ball and the red in the picture. A white ball symbolizes like the pure masculine energy that's fighting for a right cause. And I think here you're fighting for your right to not be wounded again by these past memories. So you're swiftly moving forward. Another thing about this color combination is like I'm reminded about the priesthood and the warrior priest in a way. So it's like you're crusader here, okay? You're a crusader, that you're fighting for that which is holy for you. Maybe it is love or self freedom from past patterns, freedom from karma. So you're fighting for this, you're moving swiftly away from this. It's like for you as an air sign, it's very clear in your head what you must do now. So you're also a fixed air sign, which is like it's like stuffing air into a very confined space. You know, you have those little sprays with air that you use to clean the keyboard. It's like you embody that type of energy. It's like air put under pressure in a recipient in a confined space. So when you're let out, or you let yourself out from the situation, it's like you go in a single direction, like totally opposed from whatever this is. Okay, and you're heading directly into the Emperor here. This Emperor, maybe that part of you that it's the place from which you manifest this generosity. Okay, you're a ruler of some sort, and I see the fire here behind you. It's burning. Here you have some fire burning. There's a fire in your heart that is burning, and it's taking a toll on you. And I also see it here on the outside. You also have it on the inside, and it's manifested on the outside. The Emperor has a lot of wealth, and he usually takes care of all his subjects and all the subjects in his kingdom. But here I think you cannot manifest this side of the Emperor just yet, because you have a fire to put out. It's normal that you would engage all your force and all your wisdom into putting out fires, and then you can go back maybe, but I don't think you will go back to that state of passing on your wealth to others. Okay, this is a very masculine force. This is the shaman. This is how the masculine energy should have been manifested in a way, like ruling in accordance with nature's laws, not being so protected here, like the Knight of Swords. Okay. But because you've suffered this, I can understand why you come here with a bit of a feisty energy, protected energy. And here it's like you get to that part of yourself that where you realize that I'm so good on my own that I don't actually need this heavy armor on me. I don't need to protect myself because I am in my rulership. The only bad part with the Emperor is that it's represented by the number 4, and that alludes to a very square type of thinking. So I would urge you to take, I don't know, catch yourself when you have a very square type of thinking or mindset, the my way or the highway. Okay. Okay, so you get to yourself. After this wound is reopened, you charge forward on the inside of you to find the Emperor self, who also has fire here. And the wound is festering. It's like, okay, let it be open. Let me find myself. Let's see the depth of this. So we see the 3 of Swords going into an 8 of Swords, which is representative and for an intensity of the pain. It's like you go from a 3 to an 8, so it's bigger than you thought initially. But I see the fire go here in the 3, with the Emperor and full-blown pyro show here in the Eight of Swords. So our Emperor, our Knight of Swords, our darling Aquarius, is being faced with some of the greatest wounds that they actually hold inside. It's better to fix it now than later on. This is what I've been telling the Sagittarius, that we don't like going about in life and having this synchronicities bring up things like these. We like synchronicity to work in another form. Let's say randomly meeting your life partner or a new friend, or think of the sword, stumbling across an opportunity. We don't like when the wheel of Dharma spins and brings us back to past situation here that we thought we have dealt with already, but really this was actually underneath it all. And here in these three pictures, you can definitely see the bull here, always at the feet. This is carrying, the bull here is carrying someone towards a war. Here it's like it's turned to stone and it's just helping, you know, hold the Emperor like this in this comforting position. And here it's like the bull is standing way too close to the fire, but it's almost like it doesn't mind. Okay. So what I'm thinking about this with the Six of Pentacles there, it's like you have this center in you from which the abundance comes. It's like you're a camel in the desert somehow. You have this great stamina of going through something as to see it to its end. If you think about Taurus, for example, now Taurus is another fixed sign, just like you, and the thing that you have in common is that maybe you're not so good at starting things, but you're very good at seeing them reach the end. You can take a project and work at it, a project created by someone else, but you can see it through till it's presented as the final product. Okay, so I see you being very consistent here. You're very consistent in so many ways that you're ready to withstand this going into the self, holding the self in that position of being a ruler, but a very wounded ruler. Now you cannot rule correctly, you cannot manifest that generosity there if you don't heal this. And I see this loyal outgiving nature. It's either you or another person just holding your hand through this, or you yourself, you're holding your hand through this. Okay. And here with the Eight of Swords, it ties into that repetition theme again, because 8 is the symbol for infinite. So you're repeating a pattern. You don't want to be here anymore. You need to really clean this festering wound out. Okay? You're also... Here, the monkey, which is a symbol for wise, for being wise at in the Egyptian culture, if I remember correctly. Yes, because we also have Seth and Napep there, two entities from the Egyptian underworld. Okay, so the monkey there, which is wisdom, is has his eyes tied, is blindfolded, and here you have another person that is blindfolded and and tightly tied here. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is a blind type of karma that is coming to you. It's like maybe you haven't paid for a certain situation back in the day, and now you need to actually do it so you can cleanly move forward. Okay. Good. And after you go about through this whole process on the inside of you, okay, when you reach this Eight of Swords energy, you cannot stand this for a long period of time. Maybe you can, because I see like you have 3 balls here, and Taurus can actually go through anything, like a camel in the desert, as I've told you. But here it's like you get real with yourself as to, I don't want to go through this again. This is the perfect moment to fix this. But how you go about it is with this 5 of Cups energy here. Okay, we see someone that's cloaked and is doing some kind of blood sacrifice. Okay, so with the bull being here, and in this King of Swords, it's actually like white, and its blood, it's dripping because you have this red ornament on the animal. Okay, and here you have the bull sitting very close to the fire as if it's time for it to be sacrificed. So it is gonna be sacrificed here. Like there's this outgiving part of you, like the cow is. We have been stealing the cows' calves, the milk, the skin, the flesh, everything. So you need, in a way, to sacrifice this outgiving part of you, because it's like you're giving of your blood when when you sacrifice yourself. Because if you didn't sacrifice yourself, if something wasn't this important for you, you wouldn't feel this energy. Okay, like the 3 of Swords is a heartbreak. It's a heartbreak, and this sword right here, it looks red. It's like someone put a fiery sword through your heart. Okay, and here we have many swords, many fiery swords that stand near you. It's like you're a prisoner of your own pain. Okay, the Emperor can do so much more in the world, but here we can clearly see that he is wounded. He is so wounded, he cannot go on with this festering wound. Okay, but it's good. It's good because you have the Emperor and the King of Swords, so you're ready to go through this. Now, I don't know what happened to you, but I'm picking up on very low vibrational energy here. Okay, I don't know what happened to you, but here I think you get a bit shady and you start sacrificing some important people in your life, bonds. It's like I'm gonna sacrifice other people's blood or energy or anything just to get myself back in shape. Okay, so you're doing things where no one sees you. It's like you're taking these decisions while you're alone in your house or going about life, you're gonna sacrifice. And here, one of the cups actually had a little golden fish. I don't know if you can see it or if this camera is gonna focus today. Okay, so you have a little fish here. Maybe you sacrifice a relationship that you actually had expectations of or wishes about. Okay, I'm not seeing the month of April as being a very simple one. It's a one of getting real with yourself. I need to sacrifice these because it has brought me this. Like anyone who's gonna sacrifice my blood, I'm gonna sacrifice their blood also. So out from my life. And here, I think you're holding the last two cups with the waterfalls in the back. I feel like you're holding these last two cups like your soul and your wishes. I think these relate to you. We don't know what this person is gonna do with the last two cups. Maybe he's gonna sacrifice everything, your hopes and dreams and your soul and wishes, and you're gonna become something else, or you're gonna keep this part of you, okay? Like your soul and your wishes. With the waterfall, it talks about water, and water usually relates to emotions. So I don't know if you're gonna keep like the way you feel about this whole situation here, like if you're gonna keep this memory with you as to know what to do in the future. We don't know how it ends here, but I think you're gonna take a lot more time to pass judgment upon to see what is that you're gonna do with the insides of you, okay, with this relationship, with your relationship with the self and your hopes and dreams and emotions, okay? You could sacrifice it all and go, I don't know, through a death of the self and come up with something new, or you're actually gonna keep these as friendly totems, reminders for the future, as to never again let yourself go through whatever it is that you went through here, okay? Now let's look at this from a romantic point of view. With this card, if you're in a relationship, I think one of the partners, you or your partner, is over functioning, is over giving of their riches to the other. And when I say riches, it can symbolize love, attention, financial resources, energy, being able to always put yourself second just to help the other person. Okay, it's either you or your partner doing this, and it's over functioning, and you let the other person in this. It's like you create a hierarchy. The one that's over functioning is above things because they have the means and the energy and the time to give this to the other person, and the other person actually sits at their feet just gathering the goodness that they can get from this elevated person. Now, this old way of functioning is not very healthy in a relationship, okay? You can use this if you're a great couple that where everyone, if you have this relationship where everyone is authentic, there's no issue with this really, because this is how life goes. For a certain period, you need your partner to be like this. If you are sick, or you need to be like this for your partner if they're going through something, if they're trying to build something, if they're not actually there available to exchange equal amounts of resources or love or attention, okay? Now, if you're single, You may be interested in a person who is very outgiving with their love or their time or their resources, and you actually appreciate that about them. Or this may be you. Maybe someone sees you as this ascended master that gives off of their knowledge, always there to help others, fix problems, and so on and so forth. Okay, and with the Wheel of Fortune here, it's like maybe the changing of the seasons. Now in April we're starting spring, because you can see here all the 4 seasons. Okay, you can see the black and the white, and here is a wheel with all the zodiac signs. You have Seth and Apep, two entities, not so pleasant entities of the underworld in the Egyptian culture, and you have the monkey, which symbolizes wisdom, which is blindfolded, and this could spin anyway. So this is hazard. This is these are the cycles of life. This is death and rebirth. This is how nature goes about, and we're going in a spiral, but it's an elevating spiral, because we're going through time. You cannot go back in time, only with your thoughts maybe, or your feelings. Okay, so this is hazard coming in. It's like a whirlwind. Okay, it's like a whirlwind of things, of synchronicities that throws this position out of balance. Like this hierarchy here is gonna end by just by chance, really. And this chance here, this chance for you, Aquarius, throws you into this. As I said earlier, if you're in a relationship or you're single and interested about someone, it's like you're getting clear upon this. Just by chance, you see something, you hear something, and a wound is reopened. Your consciousness is being, the light of your wisdom is being drawn to this one situation here. That in the past, you have suffered some sort of heartbreak, and that wound is still available now, and you're moving with great haste forward. You don't want to stay here in this, because there are new things that are about to come. Either you're interested in this emperor, or you're together already with this emperor, but I see you swiftly charging forward to them. It's like, I've been through this, I don't want this, dodge this bullet, and I'm very clear upon why I like this person here, why I need them in my life, why I appreciate them, and I need to be beside them. Okay, and funny thing is that you want this person so bad, or you love them so much in this relationship that you have, that this wound is making you charge towards them to maybe deepen your relationship. But somehow I see you finding out that the emperor is also in this type of situation. So you charge towards them as to be with them in their own personal hell. Okay, so you have 2 people here that are wounded. Okay, so it's you on the left side with the heartbreak, and also the emperor has his own pile of his own can of worms here. Okay, but the most important thing is you two. Aside from the grime of your emotional state, I think the most important thing is your relationship. You two together. Maybe if you see these cards, you may think that you're not a great couple, but I think you are. This is like the ruling force, and this is like the warrior. Okay, so you're doing a heroic thing for your partner, that maybe they can handle this on their own. I see the bull here, and this is the emperor, and he can withstand many things, but it's like you're rushing with them in this, so you're both burning. You can take this. You have armor on, and the Emperor is the ruling force, and he can take it. So it's like your wound leads to your partner's wound, okay? So you both need to get through this as to get to the next level. And I'm sorry. It's not easy, but it's healthy and it is needed. It is very well needed. So how are you two gonna go about this? You, your partner, or you or the person you're interested in? It's like I see you two partnering up here to do this blood ritual. Like, maybe you're gonna have this one night where you're sitting up late and discussing about the Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Like, man, I've been through some stuff in my life, and your partner is, well, yeah, I'm still going about those things in my mind. We're still two broken people in some way, but we have the power to go through this. So you're partnering up. Yeah, you're doing the power couple thing here, where in your own silence, in your own intimacy, you willingly sacrifice some relationships, either with close ones, either with friends, either with people you know. You're sacrificing them. And it's not like I can see other people here from your life in the cards, okay? It's just you two, and the other people, whoever caused this for you, and whoever caused the Eight of Swords for the Emperor. It's like these people are not even shown here, okay? They're absent, but they have left a mark on you and your partner. And with the bull here, it's like you have been branded. You know, when you take a very hot metal and you press it against an animal, usually a cow's skin, as to brand it. This belongs to me because by the power of you know, hot iron, I made you mine. Okay, so you're both going through this. And if you've both been dealing with shady people or shady relationships, I think here you're gonna sacrifice in the worst possible way, okay? This is doing things out of self-protection. It's no more longer sitting in this torture here just because you're nice, just because your partner is nice, or here with the Three of Swords. You're no longer nice. You're not a nice couple here. You're doing the power couple thing, like, okay, we're just gonna clearly talk about this, take these people out. We're gonna take these people out of our lives completely. And these are the last two cups where the waterfall is depicted. So I'm thinking these are the cups of your hearts. These are your hearts. What are we gonna do with us? Before we can take a step forward with us, we need to deal with these. So whatever happens to us, we don't take a decision based on other people, based on other situations. Okay, so it's either you purifying your hearts through this, going through this process together, or there will be a decision about you two in the future. But for now, you're together in this. You're both shady in your intimacy. You're gonna sacrifice these cups. So it's a beautiful, interesting thing here. You and your sidekick, Aquarius, are getting down to resolving these issues. So that's just great.